question. Just about get a steak for $1,500.
Because of this competition, which is the difference between our quiz and most, we ask that you do not try to help with answers from the audience. If we hear an answer from the audience, we have to throw that question out and give them another, and often they're about to give an answer, we hear the answer from the audience, and they lose their chance. If you will stay for about 15 seconds after the show, we'll turn the lights around, take your picture, and you will be in the performance. George.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word tonight is money. M-O-N-E-Y. And now, here he is, the one, the only...
Not overdo it now. Well, here I'm again with $1,500 for one of our couples. Don't even say the secret word. The duck will fly down and pay him $100. The buck will fly down, pay him 100 ducks. The word tonight is money. Thought they ate you for Thanksgiving. Ate me at a house and home. George, who's first?
Well, Groucho,
Why were you looking at me that way?
I was waiting for you to ask me just that question.
Oh, I thought perhaps you were admiring me.
Oh, well, that too.
That was secondary, then.
Well, you want
to run right over and do another show when you get through here, and you're in a hurry to get rid of me, is that it?
No, it isn't really. Believe me, it isn't.
Well, I don't believe you.
Oh. Well, in any case...
I've never believed anything you've said, George. Without a question, you're one of the most hypocritical men I've ever met. On the square, you're the plainest man I ever saw. Carpenter joke.
Now, would you like to meet our first couple, Groucho?
Frankly, no.
Well, I think I'm going to bring them in anyhow.
Drag them in, I don't know.
They're Miss Irene Vijunas and Mr. Walter Scheibel. They volunteered to be on our show tonight, and here they are. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx. Now.
What?
You see?
Did I say no? What a fool I was. Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word, and you'll divide 100 smackers. It's a common word, something you see every day. Irene Vesuvius, huh? You're a volcano, huh?
Not quite.
What is that?
Vijunas.
Vijunas?
Yes, you see, in Lithuanian we have a little mark over the Z, and that makes it a Z.
Well, you can't notice it from here, huh? Well, when a fellow takes you home at night, does he say good night, Mrs. Vijunius, or does he say just say good night, Irene?
Well, it entirely depends upon the individual case.
I see. If he's real lucky, he doesn't say good night at all. Clip.
You notice I didn't make any comment.
No. Irene, where are you from heretofore?
I beg your pardon?
No, I don't blame you for saying that. Where are you from originally?
Lithuania.
Where do you spring from?
Lithuania.
Oh, and who do you spring at? You're a Litvak, huh?
Yes, some people call it that.
Isn't that what a Lithuanian is, a Litvak?
Oh, yes, I have heard it called that.
Oh. How long have you been an American citizen?
I have been an American citizen all of my life. However, that may seem strange because
well, it certainly does.
People think just anybody can be born just anywhere and they can be an American citizen. But in my case, my parents were American citizens.
And they were living in Lithuania?
At the time. My father used to travel back and forth every year. He used to spend the winters in America and the summers in Europe.
And you were born in the summer?
Yes, I was born in the summer.
Would you mind telling us how old you are, Irene?
No, not so. I'm 29.
Are you really? Well, you don't look it. I thought you were about
Thank
21,
you.
Huh?
Thank you very much.
You have a very cute squint.
Thank you. Squint.
Now squint for the boys. That's it. Oh, I forgot you're here, too, huh? Walter Scheibel, huh?
That's correct.
Where are you from, Walter?
New York City. I was born number 13, East 113th Street.
Is that so?
Third floor.
Third floor. In the back, I presume, huh?
Well, upstairs.
Well, most people are born upstairs, I guess. Huh? What did you do in New York? Did you have a job? I used to live near there, you know. 93rd Street in Lexington Avenue.
That's pretty close.
It's really closer to 3rd, but Lexington sounds so much tonier. As a matter of fact, we lived in a slum. We had it every night for dinner, slum guardian. In other words, I was a bum. Now, what did you... And I don't know why I use the past tense. Now, what did you do in... What did you do in New York? Did you have a job?
No, I joined the Navy when I was 16, Groucho.
To see the world?
No, I saw a motion picture called Behind the Door with Hobart Bosworth in it. He was a New England fisherman, and a German submarine come up, manned by Erich von Stroheim.
Yeah.
And they were out in a rowboat, and they snatched his wife, and Bosworth swore revenge, and I thought I'd join the Navy to help him out.
So what'd you do? Get a rowboat and chase him?
So I joined the Navy.
Oh. Well, a lot of people enlist after seeing some of the movies we have now, but this is an unusual case. How long did you stay in the Navy? Just long enough to catch that German submarine?
No, until they found out my right age, and then they kicked me out, Groucho.
They kicked you out of the Navy, huh?
That's right.
That must have been in boot camp. You just play around with that a while. You'll find there's a pretty big joke there. It's not worth laughing at, but it's a big joke nevertheless. It's a real dynamite. But it laid a bomb. Now, after you got... That's you're responsible for that
right.
joke. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry.
After you got kicked out of the Navy, what did you do to help Bosworth get his revenge?
I joined the Army, Groucho.
Well, that certainly was a great way to catch a submarine. Huh? What happened in the Army?
Oh, I was discharged to count on my ears.
Hasn't heard Gable any. I don't...
Oh, I had an operation and received a medical discharge, Groucho.
Well, what did you do then, Walter? Did you run for Congress?
No, I changed my name and enlisted in the Marine Corps.
You certainly went to a lot of trouble to catch this fella. Why didn't you just shoot yourself? What happened in the Marine?
I stayed in the service in France until the end of the war. I received a discharge.
This was the First World War?
First World War.
Oh, you don't look that old.
I'm 53, Groucho.
Fooled me. I thought you were about 21, huh? No, I thought you were about 38.
Thank you.
You could say something about me, you know.
Well, you look pretty young.
Have to stand there. You know, we could get along with one less lip lock in this country.
Oh, no, I'm an American citizen. I shouldn't say.
Well, now that the war's over and there aren't any more branches of the service for you to join, what did you do next?
I got married, Groucho.
Married? Well, that's carrying revenge a little too far. You're not a man, Walter. You're just a fighting machine. So you're married, eh?
That's right.
Where'd you meet your wife? In a foxhole someplace?
No, I met her at a friend's house, Groucho. She was
No, it wasn't a friend if you met your wife there.
She was a very pretty and attractive girl, and I asked her for a date. She said she didn't think her father and mother would let me take her out.
Why? Were they taking her out?
Yeah. I asked her why, and she said she was 14 years old.
That's the old joke. The fellow says, he says to the father, I'd like to have your daughter's hand. He says, you take the whole thing or nothing, huh? This is Flop Sweat Night at the old... What about you, Irene, you dainty lit you? What sort of work does your husband do?
No, I'm not married.
Well, things are looking up. Good evening, Irene.
How do you do?
Do you like to go out on dates?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do very much, but at the present time, I'm much too busy. You see, between my school and work, I only have about 5 hours left to sleep.
Oh. No comment.
Enough else.
What do you do in your spare times? What's this about schoolwork and your job? What do you do?
Well, I'm a part-time bookkeeper at the Brown Derby, and I also go to UCLA full-time. And then, of course, when I come home, I have to do my homework.
Yeah, well, I thought perhaps we could do it together.
Yes. As a matter of fact, do you like chemistry?
Well, sometimes the chemistry operates and sometimes it doesn't. What are you taking at UCLA?
I'm majoring in chemistry.
In chemistry, huh?
Yes.
What's the reason for all this activity? Are you planning a secret bomb?
Well, I expect, or I hope rather, to get my bachelor's degree and then eventually master's. And then I think I will go into bibliographical research which means that if some scientists are working on a project, someone has to find out all that has been written about it to date and tabulate the data and present it to them so that it would save them the trouble. And then that way I could use the foreign languages.
I see. You wouldn't want to get together with me some evening and isolate a few viruses?
Well,
germ or something like that?
if my schedule permits.
You're not married, huh?
No?
You've been married?
Yes.
No. What sort of things have you studied in chemistry, Irene?
Well, besides chemistry, of course, I had to take some prerequisite courses, such as physics, which was mechanics, electricity and sound, and light, and then mathematics, algebra, trigonometry, analytic geometry, calculus, and then in chemistry I have had so far general chemistry, and then analytic chemistry, and now I'm taking quantitative analysis.
That's very interesting, Irene. I didn't understand anything you said, but it's certainly interesting. If you can analyze what goes on in one of those brown Davy tamales, you'll be another Madame Curie, you will. Einstein threw up his hands in despair. What sort of work do you do, Walter?
I'm a painter, Groucho.
You're a painter?
That's right.
How much do you charge for a sitting?
I'm a house painter.
Well, the last time I had my house painted, those painters were sitting every time I looked at them.
That was one of them.
Have you ever painted yourself into a corner?
No, I haven't, Groucho, but I had something worse happen to me than that. Contractor sent 3 of us out on a job, and we were on it 3 days, and he showed up on the job, and he went into a rage. We were painting the wrong house.
Was that unusual?
Well, it certainly is.
So what did you do? Did you ever finish the house?
Well, we did. We finished the house. I asked the woman, I says, how come when we came here that you didn't tell us this was the house? And she said, did I ask you to paint the house? And I says, no. And she says, be satisfied we like the color, otherwise it'd make you paint it over. She was right, too.
How old was this woman, do you remember?
Oh, I don't know, around 40, 45.
She attractive?
Fairly.
Did you ever go in the house?
No, I was fired then. I never went back.
What about the house you were supposed to paint?
Well, the address was 351 where we were supposed to go to, but there was a curlicue on the 1, so we took it for a 7 and we painted the house 2 doors away.
You should take Irene with you. She's good at all these kind of higher mathematics. Have you ever done anything besides painting?
Yes, I have a hobby, photography and barking, Groucho.
Photography and barking?
That's right.
Well, that's a natural combination. What was that last one?
Barking.
Barking, huh?
That's right.
Well, you sly dog, you, huh? How did you ever get started barking? Did the postman bite you?
No. Groucho, we had a clogged drain in our bathtub at home, and I tried to imitate the gurgle, and it turned into a bark, and from that I started imitating different dogs.
Well, could you give us a demonstration, Walter?
Yes, I can, Groucho.
Could you do a Norwegian elk hound?
I think so.
That sounds more like the quadrain to me. Huh? Walter, you're barking up the wrong quizmaster. The only old bones I've got with me tonight are my own. I have no intention of parting with any of them. How did you become a professional barker? Just where do you do this barking?
Well, Groucho,
Is there a field for this thing?
No, there's not, but I generally go, when I do shopping, I go in the banks or in the grocery stores, and so many people have gloomy faces these days that I bark a little bit when I see them, and they perk up and start smiling real happy.
Well, are you housebroke?
I think so.
Clip, 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 clip. Well, if you're going to bark, why don't you do it in a butcher shop where it'll do you some good? Why do it in a bank?
Well, that would help out too, Groucho.
Is there any future in television for your talent?
I don't think so, Groucho. If you've watched commercials lately, most of the commercials advertising dog food, the dogs talk.
That's true. That's what's happened. And 4 years of television, and look what's happening. We've got talking dogs and barking people. Well, it's time to call a halt to the small talk. If you win some money, you can do some whining later on. Now you're going to play You Bet Your Life, and you win more money than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question. You should have a very good chance here tonight with Irene, because Irene is mixed up with so many studies at school that I don't understand, that she must be a real hep cat when it comes to intelligence.
Something.
I never thought I'd work myself out of that. This is a culinary quiz. You understand what that is?
Right.
Culinary? It's sometimes pronounced culinary, which is incorrect.
Culinary.
All right. Now, you have 10 questions here, and each one gets harder as you go along. You can pick any ones you want. You have 4 of these. And it's up to you. And you attract a partner there.
15?
What shall we start?
15?
Okay.
Fine.
I'm
50?
game.
Remember, one answer between you.
Fine.
Fine.
On the $50 one, what are oolong and souchong?
Chinese dish.
What are they?
A Chinese dish.
Well, no. There are many Chinese dishes. These are varieties of tea. All right. Well, you've still got many chances to win a lot of swag here. Which question do you want this time?
60? Let's try the 60.
60. If France is the home of Roquefort cheese, what country is the home of Edam cheese? E-D-A-M.
Yeah, that's it.
Switzerland.
No. It's Holland.
Holland.
All right.
And I knew that.
No despair yet. You've got 2 more chances. Which one do you want?
You want what, 70? Yeah. All right, let's take the 70.
70. The unit used in expressing the energy and heat-producing value of food is called what? A lot of people count them.
Yeah, that's right.
Calories.
Calories is right.
Well, you now have $70.
Now, which one do you want?
Let's try the 80. Let's try the 80.
80. What do you call the field where cranberries are grown?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Throw it out.
They might have known that.
Thank you.
I'll give you
Fine.
I'll give you an alternative question. Yeah. What do you call the metal or wooden pins used to keep meat or poultry in shape while cooking?
Pivot?
No, skewers they're called. S-K-E-W-E-R-S. All right.
And you wind up with $70.
Well, thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth
Thank you,
dealer.
Groucho.
All right, George, who's next?
Well, Groucho, just before we went on the air, our studio audience chose Dolores Doss to be on the show, and her partner has an interesting profession. He's Mr. Bill Lasky. So, folks, would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, youngsters, to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide $100. It's a common word, something you see every day, I hope. Dolores Ross? Ross, is that right?
Doss.
Doss. Let's start with you. I always like to start with a girl. I don't get very far, but I always like to start with her. Where is your hometown, Dolores?
It's the beer town, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh. A couple of drunks out front. How old would you say you were if you were just taking a guess, Dolores?
23.
23. Well, that's a ripe old age, huh? If you weren't taking a guess, how old would you be?
23.
Same thing, huh?
Right?
No time off for good behavior at all. You're Bill Lasky, huh?
That's
Where are
right,
you
Groucho.
from, Willie?
From Hollywood, California.
Oh, well, that makes you a native son, huh?
That's right, Groucho.
I knew your brother very well, native dancer. Real character, too, always horsing around. How old are you, Bill?
31.
31, huh? Well, that's a ripe old age, too, huh? And you were born in Hollywood 31 years ago?
Yes, at the Good Samaritan Hospital.
Well, that's a rare species, you know, anybody who's born in this town. 31 years ago, I thought there was nothing here but orange groves. Was your father an orange or a smudge pot?
No answer.
What sort of work do you do, Bill?
I'm a herpetologist, Groucho.
What's your language, Bill? The children listen to this program. You say you're a herpetologist, and you're sure you're on the right show?
I think so.
We haven't had a herp around here for months. It isn't a harp, eh? A herpetologist,
No,
like my brother?
No.
What is a herpetologist?
Well, a herpetologist is a man who studies snakes.
Well, you're on the right show, all right. Well, is that all you do, just study snakes?
No, I study turtles and lizards and other crocodilians, alligators and crocodiles.
I noticed you were studying Dolores a moment ago. I guess that makes me a herpetologist, too. I was studying the same thing. Huh? Crocodilian, huh? Are you a crocodilian,
No,
Dolores?
I'm afraid I'm not.
Well, don't be afraid. You may be before the show's over. So, why do you study reptiles when there are so many other things to study?
Oh, I don't know. Some people study law, other people are actors, and I just like cold-blooded animals.
You don't mean income tax collectors, huh? I have an idea that little jape is going to cost me plenty on March 15th. Now, where do you do your studying? In the tall grass?
No, up at the Griffith Park Zoo. I'm a curator of reptiles up there.
Oh, well, there's a lot
For
of
the past
studying
2.5
goes on
years.
in Griffith Park, but I didn't know. What do you do there? What did you do there?
Well,
you did there? I mean.
It was my job to build up a collection of reptiles, trade with foreign countries for rare types and species. Once they came to this country, to adapt them to their cages, start them feeding, and keep them alive and healthy for the public to enjoy and see and learn from.
You stick to cold-blooded animals, and I'll stick to warm-blooded ones. The warmer, the better. Dolores, that brings me back to you. Do you have a job?
Yes, I do.
What sort of work do you do?
I'm with the roller derby.
Really? I've been rolled in the derby many a time. That's true, and if it weren't for the mousetrap I carry in my pocket, they'd have gotten plenty, too. What is the roller derby?
Well, the roller derby is a race between two teams skating on roller skates, and it's on a specially constructed bank track, 45-degree angles on the turns, and it's 128 feet long.
What's the point of all this milling around on skates?
Well, the object is to gain points over the opposite team. There's two teams competing against each other, and this competition goes on in a league series through the year.
Do you have a nickname that your fans know you by?
Yes, I do, but
Like
I'm
the Sultan of
embarrassed.
SWAT, huh?
No, it's embarrassing. I guess it's because I'm so tall or bigger than the other girls. They call me Moose.
Can you make the sound of the moose?
No, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Can you, Bill? You've been around.
Oh, I think I could.
How do they go?
I would never do it on a microphone. That's strictly for the zoo. Something like that, yes.
That's me?
I used to be a hat rack. Well, this is kind of slaughter on 10th Avenue, isn't it, this roller derby? I hear it gets pretty rough at times, doesn't it?
Well, it gets rough, and there's injuries, bruises that aren't obvious. But it's no rougher.
Say there are bruises that are...
Bruises.
I don't hear very well.
But it really isn't any rougher than football.
That's what you call real, typical feminine logic. That isn't what I asked you. Does it get rough?
Yes, it does get rough. We have injuries, quite a few of them.
You have extra girls in the hospital all the time?
Every once in a while. You know that when there's 10 skates out there going at about 35 miles an hour, it gets pretty rough on a jam. And
well, you skate around in an arena, is that right?
That's right.
And you have a doctor skating around with you all the time? A small doctor with a suitcase?
No, he stands in the middle ready to catch us any minute.
How many are usually hors de combat, I think it's called?
How many of us? There's 10 on the track at a time, 5 from each.
Perhaps my pronunciation wasn't accurate. I mean, you have, how many girls total do you have?
Well, we have 6 teams, and there's 7 girls on each team.
You have 42 girls?
That's right.
And how many of them are in the injury ward at one time?
Well, they take turns.
Well, how do you keep from getting smashed up? Do you wear football uniforms?
No, we don't wear a football uniform. We wear tights, cotton jerseys, satin shorts, and leather padding on the right places.
Well, do you ever fall down in the wrong places?
Yes.
Now, do men ever skate against girls in the roller derby?
Not very often, only in emergency.
I thought I'd get it better that time. Did I scare you, Moose?
Sure did.
Scared me. I'm afraid to go home tonight. Go on, you do it once. I've done it twice.
Bow. That's the male moose. You
You
were the female moose.
Oh. Oh, this is the female moose.
I should never mention it.
You know, Dolores, a few months ago, I read something in the paper about some American skaters in Paris who almost caused a war over there. Did you read about that?
Yes, I read about it. In fact, I was there.
You were? Well, what happened? It was a riot of some kind.
No, the Parisians were very enthusiastic about the race, and they came every night with their tomatoes and potatoes and onions, and they threw it at us.
What do you mean, the tomatoes? Are they married, most of them?
No, they threw everything that was around at the skaters.
Well, why did they do this?
Well, we had two teams, the American team and the European team, and they just didn't like the American team.
And they liked the European team?
Oh, yes.
And where were these girls from?
Well, they were actually Americans, but they carried the flag of their ancestries. And most of them spoke the same language, so they were put on the European team representing their country.
I see. That's pretty involved, isn't it? How did you get interested in reptiles? Was this an ambition you had as a boy, Bill?
Yes, as a youngster, my hero was Raymond L. Ditmars of the Bronx Zoo. And as you know, he was a herpetologist.
Yes, he was. He used to play it every morning.
Uh-huh. And I used to have snakes and frogs and lizards and toads as a youngster as pets. And in studying them, I became more interested in learning more about them.
Well, how did your family feel about this? It was a kind of a curious interest, wasn't it?
I think they were rather cold-blooded on the subject.
Indifferent?
Something like that.
What was your first experience with these snakes and stuff? Do you remember?
Yes, there was a story. When I was about 5 years old, I
Am I getting any better?
It's improving all the time. It used to come in.
I've lost it again. I'll never.
Well, I was about 5 years old, and I'm told I was dressed in a Lord Fauntleroy suit, though God knows why. But anyway, I had a little frog in my hand. I came into a cocktail party my mother and father were giving. And
what do you mean, a little frog? A small French boy you had with you?
No, this was
A real frog?
a real frog. And as I came into the cocktail party, why, the frog decided he didn't like my hand as a place to live, and thought that a brandy snifter, you know, one of those glasses, would be
decanter?
Would be a much more suitable home. And he leaped from my hand to the brandy sniffer just as it was going up to one of the guests' mouths. And I don't know what the consequence was.
It's probably a drunken frog, wasn't it?
It's an old family legend.
Oh, and a man was about to drink this at the time?
So I'm told.
He's probably president of Alcoholics Anonymous, right? How about snakes? What was your first experience with them?
Well, I had a pet boa constrictor. You know, some boys have a pet dog or a cat they remember from their childhood. Well, this boa was a very special pet of mine. He lived in a shower, and he used to have daily shower baths, and occasionally I even took him to bed like a toy or something like that.
How long was he?
About 6.5 feet long.
Your twin bed? Single bed?
Single bed.
Kind of crowded in there with a boa constrictor.
He liked to. He liked the warmth of the bed, and was a very good bedfellow. Well behaved.
You miss him?
No, I have no regrets.
Whatever happened to him, do you know?
I don't remember, Groucho. There have been many snakes in my life, though.
Isn't that true of all of us? How come your old man let you play with these things? Was he a little wacky?
No, I don't think so. In fact, Groucho, I believe he's a friend of yours.
Well, then there's a chance that he's wacky. You say he's a friend of mine?
Yeah.
Bill Lasky? Your father is Jesse Lasky, the movie producer?
That's right, Groucho.
Well, I know him very well, and a nicer guy never lived either. We did a lot of movies for your father, you know. Why don't you tell the people something about your father? He's one of the most illustrious They're the pioneers of the business.
I think the most interesting thing I probably could say would be that the very site of this studio, right where we're standing now, was the old barn, the barn site of famous players Lasky, which was the first company, I believe, in Hollywood. You can probably help me on these things because, as you remember, I was very small at the time.
You were big enough to handle a 6-foot snake.
But I've been told that my dad and Mr. Goldwyn were much too dignified gentlemen to come to a wild place called Hollywood where there are nothing but orange trees and Indians, and they sent their partner, Sam Goldwyn, out here to look the ground over. And
he came from Gloversville.
So I'm told.
That's right. He was in the glove business.
That's right. And so he picked the site here of the... No, I'm mixed up on this thing. I'm sorry. Mr. Goldwyn was the one who was too dignified. Mr. DeMille was perfectly willing to come out here and earn an honest dollar and work for the two gentlemen back east. Mr. DeMille came out here and sent my father a wire when he saw this barn on this corner here. And he said, sent my father a wire saying, have located a barn. Please authorize to rent same for our first production, which was a Squaw Mancy. Well, Dad sent him back a wire saying, okay to rent barn, but no long-term commitments. For the corner of Sunset and Vine.
Oh, he's a wonderful man. We worked for him for 5 years, you know. We did 5 pictures at Paramount.
Well, wasn't one an animal picture, Animal Crackers?
Well, it wasn't an animal picture. We were in it, but...
Duck soup?
Duck soup, monkey business.
More animals.
Coconuts. And horse feathers. Say, there were 4 animals in those 5 pictures we made. Didn't you ever visit the set when we were working there with my brothers?
I don't remember. I would have been a very, very small boy.
Yeah, I know. You have to keep hopping on that? You're not a herpetologist, you're a hoptologist. Now you know why this boy got interested in snakes. He thought he was seeing them, and he really was. He was seeing us on the set. Well, you're a nice young couple, and I'd like to keep on talking to you two, and I hope you're very happy together.
No complaints.
No complaints. Now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. You've met Mr. Fenneman?
Yes, we have.
Hi. He's on sundry shows. He sells sundries on another show. Right? Now, all you have to do is win more money than our other couples, and you'll get a chance at the big question later. Are you ready, Moose? Moose girl?
Ready.
That'll be our animal, huh? Let's see how much money you can make. You selected the animal kingdom. By gosh, you should be good at this. Little rural stuff. Gosh, you're all hemlock. Well, heavens to Betsy, huh? Boy, the profanity that I get away with up there. All right, which do you want? You can go all the way from 10 to 100.
What do you want?
Come on, Moose, get on the ball.
Let's try a $20 question just for the
20. What bird is known as the harbinger of spring?
The harbinger of spring.
Yeah.
It's the robin.
I heard you. It's the robin. That's right.
Well, you're on your way. You have $20.
Now what?
Oh, let's try.
Little man, what now? Little Moose, what now?
$40.
Fine.
40, eh? According to the nursery rhyme, who went to sea with the pussycat?
Sorry, folks, you're spoiling your
Have to throw it out. I'll give you an alternative. And they knew it, too.
Yeah.
question, and I cannot, because there's competition, allow them to have any help from the audience.
All right, I'll give you an alternate question. What was that, 40?
40.
What kind of birds arrive on schedule at a California mission every year?
The swallows of Capistrano.
That is right. The swallows of California.
You now have $60.
Now what? Little Moose, what now?
You decide now. You've done good so far.
Well,
That's a typical woman, shifting the responsibility. Huh?
$60.
$60 there?
Fine.
Okay. In the rhyme, who killed Cock Robin? Take a guess.
A cat?
I said the sparrow.
Oh, my little bow and arrow.
Yeah. You still have $60,
All right.
however.
Now what one do you want?
Oh, let's take the $100. See what we can do.
100?
Go ahead. Fine.
Try.
What mythological bird rose from the ashes to be reborn again?
The phoenix bird.
Phoenix, Arizona is right.
And you wind up with $160.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth Delight.
thing together.
Fenneman, who's next to play You Bet Your Wife? Live. Knife.
We have some people with interesting jobs, Groucho.
Too bad you haven't, huh?
Well, now.
What now, Fenneman?
Maybe we could do it off screen sometime. Well, we have some people with interesting...
There's a grown man with 3 children. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Huh?
Folks, come in and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome for the DeSoto Plymouth dealer. Say the secret word and you'll divide 100 smackers. It's a common word, something you see every day. Mrs. Ruby Williams and Mr. John Lee, eh? Mrs. Williams, where were you born?
Where's I born?
Where were you born?
Marietta, Oklahoma.
Murrieta, Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
Well, I say, I went horseback riding down there many years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Used to ride on the prairie down there. Friend got killed, too. A horse stepped in a gopher hole down there. And the gopher started to chase us, but the horse outran him. Not that last part, but the first part. How long ago were you in Murrieta, Mrs. Williams? I mean, when you were born.
Well, longer than I care to remember.
Really? Do you suffer from amnesia?
No, just old age.
Not true. You're as young as you were 20 years ago,
Oh, thank you.
Ruby. You don't care if I get familiar and call you Ruby, eh?
No.
Are you married?
Yes, I am.
How did you meet your husband? I presume you met him.
Well, I was manager of Western Union in Wagner, Oklahoma. And I was living...
Funny, I was saddle riding in Wagner, Oklahoma once. Horse fell in a gopher hole. The horse stayed there, and I rode the gopher the rest of the way. So help me, you can ask Hal Tenney if that ain't true.
You got the horse.
How did you meet your husband, Ruby?
Well, I met him where I was living at his sister's house. That's where I met him.
You were living at his sister's
Yeah,
house?
I lived at his sister's house.
You had a real stakeout, didn't you, huh? The victim didn't have a chance, huh? How come you were living there? Did you know that he was going to come over there?
No, that was one of those things.
You weren't setting a trap or anything, huh? Gopher trap?
No.
You're from Oklahoma. Can you imitate a moose?
A moose? Oh, no, I'm afraid
Can
not.
you?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
You've never heard a moose?
No, no.
You either?
I thought moose in Montana. What kind of moose?
A hat rack kind.
Oh!
Go on, try it. See how it comes out.
Over there. I've eaten moose, but I don't know how
Well,
to...
you may still have it in there. Try it.
Wild moose or tame moose?
Now, give us a wild one, huh?
Oh, I couldn't. I just...
Well, give us a tame moose.
A tame one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Johnny.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry.
I hate to let you down, but I just
Well,
couldn't.
you said you did. Last time I'll ask you anything like that. You say you were in Wagner, Oklahoma? What were you doing there, Ruby?
I was manager of the Western Union.
Oh, and did you get married in Oklahoma?
That's right.
Well, then it wasn't a Western Union, it was a Midwestern Union.
One of those things.
You like that, huh?
Very good.
It was rather cozy, wasn't it, huh?
Very pretty.
You're Mr. John Lee, eh?
That's right.
Are you one of the Lees of Virginia?
No, I'm from England.
Oh, you're one of the Lend-Lees, eh? That's why we need more patriotic stuff on this show. I may wave a flag at the finish. What sort of work do you do, John?
Well, I'm a photographer, Groucho. I've just opened a studio in Hollywood where I do a certain amount of society portraits and theatrical portraits and
Is that
fashion
still
work.
society?
Well, in a small way.
I thought the income tax had taken care of that. Huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, most of my work is fashion photography. I photograph
Commercial stuff, huh?
commercial dresses,
You
most
photograph
of the time.
dresses?
That's right.
Do they have models in them?
Oh, definitely.
Does your wife worry about you spending your time with these beautiful models?
Well, she really doesn't have to worry. She's the most beautiful girl in the world, so it doesn't matter much to her.
He doesn't believe it.
Have you been hitting the old red eye? You say she's the most beautiful girl in the whole world?
Oh, yes, definitely. I should know,
You're
too.
covering a lot of territory there, Johnny boy.
I have covered a lot of territory.
If it wasn't so stale, I'd say touche, huh? Could you describe this wunderkind for us?
Well, she's very tall. She's 5'10". She has a very perfect figure. She's blonde. She has wonderful features. And just altogether the most beautiful girl in the world.
Sounds like quite a dish. How did you manage to nail her?
I've often wondered about that. I really don't know.
Maybe she married a photographer just to find out what developed, huh? There's only one thing wrong with that joke. It's been overexposed. John, do you know what your wife likes about you? Presuming, of course, that there is something that she likes.
Well, I don't know. I think possibly she recognizes that under my somewhat worldly and sophisticated exterior, I'm really a very simple person.
Well, just how simple are you?
Well, I like the simple things of life.
Oh, maybe we can pay him off with buttons instead of money. How did you meet your wife, Simon?
Well, when I first started my studio in New York, she helped me with some experimental modeling when I was trying to straighten out my lighting system there.
It's a likely story, isn't it? What was the matter with your lights? Wouldn't they turn off? I must confess I'm in the dark about the whole thing. And I have a feeling you two were also, huh? How did this romance blossom?
Well, I met her a few times. I photographed her a few times, and every time I photographed her, everything went perfectly, and every time we were near each other, there seemed to be something electric in the air.
Couldn't have been a streetcar, huh? Well, Mrs. Williams, I'll call you Ruby. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Penniman says you have an interesting occupation. Just what is it you do?
I work for the Southern Pacific.
Oh, you're a railroad man, huh? You have a soft berth? Did you ever hear the story about the fellow on the train who sent a telegram to his wife, just gave birth to an old lady?
Oh, that's an old story, but that's good for a laugh any day.
Yeah, sure. They like that in the roundhouse, huh? And while you railroaders are yakking it up with old jokes, the northbound and the southbound are trying to pass each other on the same track. Well, those things take place. What kind of work do you do for the railroad, Rube?
Oh, well, I'm a brass pounder.
Brass pounder? What is a brass pounder?
That's telegrapher.
Oh, I see.
To pound the brass, to telegraph keys.
Samuel Morse? Is that his name?
That's right.
Where do you hold this job?
Moorpark, California, in Simi Valley.
Simi Valley? What kind of a place is that? Do the simians come from there?
Oh, that's a most beautiful valley.
Yeah?
Yeah, they grow lemons, prunes, mostly nuts.
I think there's more nuts right around Sunset and Vine. Huh? How long have you been pounding a telegraph key?
Oh, about 11 years.
11 years. Huh? You know, railroad men are supposed to be real he-men. Do they ever give you any trouble, Ruby?
No, they don't give me any trouble. They kid me sometimes.
Yeah. I guess since those diesel engines came in, the railroad men don't have the steam they used to have. Don't they ever chase you around the pot-bellied stove in the station house?
No, there's an old railroad song, Head for the Roundhouse, Nellie. He can't corner you there.
My gosh, I've been railroaded. Gosh, gee whiz. Are there any duties on your job that are difficult for a woman?
At times they're dangerous.
I don't mean on the roundhouse. I mean outside.
I would say yes. It's unusual for a woman
Yes.
to call through a train or over a train to get onto another track, to reach another train. I would call that dangerous, and to climb poles and hand up train orders.
Well,
Sometimes it's dangerous.
what's the most important part of your job, Ruby?
The movement of trains.
Especially if you're under it, I suppose. Well, how do you get the trains to move? Do you have to have a lot of push in your job, or?
No, but you got to have a lot of go.
You do, huh?
You got to give them the go sign, the signals.
You're sort of
You got to keep them moving.
You ever hang around the caboose any?
I don't have a chance.
Well, how do you signal the conductor if something's wrong? And I'm sure there usually is.
Oh, sometimes we give them signals like this.
What's that? What's that mean?
That's a washout. Stop.
You mean the conductor is a washout, or the...
Well, he better stop.
No matter what he's doing.
Yeah.
Suppose you don't want the train to stop. What kind of a signal do you give?
Well, you give him a sign like this.
What does that mean?
Well, that's a highball.
Probably, but what does that mean? Huh? Who is this
Go ahead.
highball for? You or the conductor, Ruby?
Could be the hoghead. Could be the hoghead.
The highball, is that how you get the train loaded? You know, I've often wondered how switchmen control trains. Now, suppose two trains are racing towards each other 60 miles an hour, and they're only half a mile apart, and they're coming closer together, closer and closer. Now, what are you going to do?
Well, are they on the same track?
Yeah, they're both on the same track. Now, what are you going to do? And you better hurry up.
Well, I'd try to give him a stop signal or get him on a side track. I'd try to stop him.
None of these things will work in this case, Ruby. There are no sidings, no signals, and it's too late for a hand signal. Now, what will you do? Come on, they're getting closer together.
Well, what can I do?
Well, you can cover your ears, because in just 30 seconds, you're going to hear the most spectacular thunderous crash you ever heard in your life. Courtesy of John Goodell. Well, let's see how you two make out the quiz. You're going to play You Bet Your Life for a chance at a lot of money. Now, let's see how much money you can make. You selected dictionary quiz. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
That's right. Now, where's your wife? Is she out front?
Yes, she is.
You think we could get her to stand up? I'd like to see her.
Would you stand up? I'm standing.
I see 11 women standing up out there. You're going to show it to me later, aren't you?
I hope so.
I hope so, too. All right. Now, what do you want? You can go from 10 to 100. And they get harder as you go along.
We'll start off with 100.
100? Oh. Well, what do you call the number above the line in fractions? Talk it over. And if you don't know, guess.
The hyphen?
It's the numerator.
Numerator.
All right, well, there goes the $100 one.
Try the 90.
90. All right, if you had acrophobia, what would you be afraid of?
Heights?
Great heights is right. That's
Well,
a tough question.
It sure is, and you have
Did
$90.
you know that?
I certainly didn't.
You don't know much of anything, do you?
I certainly don't tonight.
The numerator and the fraction.
Now, what do you want?
Try the 80.
What do you call a person who prepares and creates dances and dance routines?
The choreographer.
Choreographer is correct.
You now have $170.
Oh, this fellow's real cool. Now, what do you want?
70.
70. Do you know the Indian word for corn? And it's not television.
Yeah, I should, Corporal.
You don't know?
No, I'm afraid not.
Whiskey. Corn whiskey's all I know.
No, it's maize. M-A-I-Z-E. Well, Cinnamon?
And you wind up with $170.
Thanks and good luck from the DeSoto Plymouth dealer.
Thank you.
That means that the railroad lady and her partner with $170 in just one moment will get the chance at the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question. And here's the winning couple,
You don't laugh
Groucho.
at Jack Webb, do you?
Oh, no.
Why do you laugh at me?
And here's the winning couple, Groucho. And here's the winning couple, Groucho, the railroad lady and her partner, all set for the DeSoto Plymouth $1,500 question.
Well, you were just up here, weren't you?
How do you do?
You want to try a moose now that you're the winning couple?
Well, I'm afraid not.
Give us an English moose or some other kind of a grouse.
I've never heard of grouse.
I I never hope to hear one, but I can tell you anyhow, I'd rather see them be one. I know that. All right. You don't want all that opening stuff again, do you? You do? Here we go for $1,500. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide on a single answer between you. Think carefully, and please no help from the yahoos, from the audience. Here it is. For $1,500, tell me, according to the 1950 federal census, what is the largest city in the state of Montana? It's a tough one. If you don't know, guess.
Montana?
Debut.
Yes. This is the way we were in our honeymoon. All right, what is the answer you two have decided upon?
Well, we really haven't much idea, but we'll guess Butte.
No, I'm sorry. It's a tough one. It's Beaver Falls. No, it isn't Beaver Falls. It's Wichita Falls. No, it's Great Falls, huh?
Oh,
Great Falls.
Great Falls.
I'm sorry. That means the big question next week will be worth $2,000. Well, they lost the big money, but they did pretty well. How much they win?
$170 in the quiz.
Well, thanks and good luck and congratulations. And to all of our contestants on the show tonight from the DeSoto Plymouth dealers of the United States.
That's too bad. Be sure to tune in again next Wednesday night at this same time for the Groucho Marx Show, when the big question will be worth $2,000. And don't miss Groucho's television show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. And remember that the dealers who sell the outstanding 1954 DeSoto Automatic with fully automatic power flight transmission also have on display the remarkable new Plymouth, engineered and built to be your best buy in the low-priced field. DeSoto, Plymouth. Two great new cars, both products of the Chrysler Corporation.
And when you drive in, tell them Groucho sent you. Good night, folks, and remember, just be sure to see the DeSoto Automatic.
Folks, here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. A minute for safety beats a month for repairs. You bet your life.